Right, next thing we should do is just double click on the old installer to install the thing. Right, this is well easy to install. All we do is click on the quick, click next. There's the license agreement. It's going to say a similar thing. Don't mess around with the software, don't adapt it, don't try and sell it, and bear in mind it's provided as is. Don't expect any support or any sort of premium service because it's free, so no one's earning any money from it, and neither should you. So click on next, and it's going to do the installing bit. See here it says Paint.net is free of charge. If you paid someone money for it, other than giving them a donation, then get your money back because it's meant to be free software. So just wait while it installs it. Here we go, that's it installed then. And just the same as when we finished installing FileZilla, we've got a option here which if we leave that ticked, as soon as we click finish, it's just going to load Paint.net up for us. So I'm going to do that just to make sure it works. So I click on finish, and the first thing it should do is load up Paint.net. And it's worked. There we have the lovely Paint.net, which we can use to make our graphics with and edit stuff. Again, we're not going to go into how to use this thing just yet. This is just a bit of preparation for later steps in the Web Catalyst process. But this thing is important because one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're building their own sites is not to properly optimize their images and their photographs before they put them on their websites. So you might have been on some websites where it takes forever to load. Well, it's because there's so many images on there, and they've just come straight off a digital camera, and they're absolutely huge, and they take a good 30 seconds each to download. Whereas, if you had something like Paint.net and you know what you were doing, which I'm going to teach you later, you could just open that photograph up in Paint.net, resize it a little bit, save it in a different file format, and it would shrink that photo so it loads in like half a second. And 30 seconds might not be a lot, but if you've got 4 or 5 images on the page and you look at it 2 or 3 minutes before the whole page loads, that's just unacceptable. Whereas if you optimized all those images and they took half a second each, the page might load in 5 seconds, right? So it's just good practice to do that, because the more pleasant your website is to work with or interact with from your visitor's point of view, the better off everyone will be. So that's it. Just close Paint.net. I've done a little scribbles. It says, do you want to save it? And don't save. So there we go. Right, you can also delete this little installer. Like I said before, we don't need that now. Yes. I've actually got a little icon on my desktop now here, there, for Paint.net and one for FileZilla. So those, I could just either double click on either of those to get back into those programs, but stick them over to the side for now.